Hello aspirants, welcome to GRACE IAS. UPSC might be releasing UPSC Prelims 2025 results anytime very soon. And in this context, I would like to talk about how to approach mains 2025. All of you or many of you might have your own strategy for your mains. But on the basis of the experience, let me share the main strategy, and this session might be useful for the fresher who would be writing mains for the first time, and even for the repeaters, they may get some insight into the mains strategy. So let's get started. So in today's session, under these headings, I am going to talk about. So what is reflected on the screen, please see, these are the points I am going to discuss. So the first point about the understanding the exam pattern. It is extremely important to understand the exam pattern, but at this point of stage where you are preparing to write the mains, I hope all of you would be well versed with the examination pattern and what are the subjects which will be coming in the mains. So I am not going to discuss much about it. But let's look into the other aspect, building a strong foundation. To get success in the UPSC or for that matter any exam, building a strong foundation is extremely important. And in this context, I would like to talk about what subjects you are basically studying. What subjects and materials. So studying authentic material is extremely important. Here I would like to talk about, on the basis of the experience of few candidates who have written their mains and has also given the interview but might have lagged in their performance. They would have studied much of the materials, but somewhere they have ignored NCERT. So here I would like to emphasize that reading NCERT is extremely important for your mains perspective. So please brush up your foundation, make it more strong, read NCERT, that's very, very useful. Secondly, about the current affairs. Now, current affairs plays very, very significant role. Few questions can directly come from the current affairs, particularly the reason like your IR, even social issues, governance, particularly in your GS paper 2 and GS paper 3, economy, science and tech, environment. So most of the topic from these section would be covered from the current affairs. Directly the question would be coming from the current affairs. And the knowledge of current affairs would also be useful to substantiate your answer. Any answer for that matter you are substantiating. For example, on the role of governor. So recently Supreme Court has given the judgment regarding the role of governor in delaying the or reserving the bill passed by state legislature. So when you are well versed with the current affairs, you will be very well able to deal with such questions. On IR, most of the questions, I think if you would have gone through the PYQ, you would see that IR, most of the questions are from the current affairs. Then on governance, many a time the questions would be from the current affairs. Economics, of course, the knowledge of current affairs, the data, relevant data, the current data is extremely important. Science and technology, the knowledge of the current developments in science and technology. For example, they might ask you on the Chandrayaan, which has been recently launched, how it's going to help in the development of the country or so and so. So the knowledge of current affairs is extremely important. One, for dealing with the questions directly, and secondly, the knowledge of current affairs, the knowledge of current data, example, facts can be used to substantiate your answers. Third point here, let me discuss answer writing skill. Now, this cannot be overemphasized because a good answer writing skill is very, very eminent. Now, how to develop good answer writing skill? For that, you must be very, very well, you should know about the relevant content. Read the questions very carefully, and develop a proper thought with the relevant content and structure. Now, this is not enough just developing a thought in your mind, but then it should be translated into actual writing. You must write answer, you must practice answer, because with this, I would also club both these things in together. Time management is extremely important. We might be knowing all the questions, all the 20 questions in general studies. But then when it comes to the time management, many students fail in managing time because of the lack of enough practice of answers, and that too within word limit. So writing to the point answer, to the point, precise. I think many a time, particularly the freshers who would be writing for the first time their mains, please be careful while writing your mains answer. You have managing the time is extremely important. Sometimes we know the thing so well, and then we think that we can write a very good answer on that, and then just for few answers we spend a lot of time, and at the end we are not left with the adequate time, and then we end up writing, or we become so panic, and in that manner we are not able to complete the paper. So extremely important that you practice. Answer writing practice is extremely important. Don't just think that yes, I know the things, I know the material, I have the proper knowledge, I will write in the mains. No, please don't commit such mistakes. Practice enough before you write your real mains. Practice to write to the point, precise, balanced answer. Now that is again very, very important that you provide your opinion in a very balanced manner. Don't take it to the far right or far left. Be in the center, be centrist, and that is how try to maintain a balanced answer. Sticking to the word limit. One very important is sticking to the word limit. Anyway, the pattern of the your answer booklet is such where you would not been given so much of space to write, but then beforehand practice would help you, because there you might not able to organize your answer within the word limit. So everything has to be practiced beforehand. Practice to write under word limit. If it is 150 words approximately, it should be around 160 to it could be 140 or 180, but not more than that, and you manage to write in that whatever the space is provided. But for that, as I keep on emphasizing, practice is important. Now, use of diagram and all, again we'll be taking one session on particularly on answer writing, but let me just talk in the brief the few points what is required in the answer writing, how to develop a good answer writing skill. It begins with understanding of the question. First of all, you need to understand the question. So read the question very, very carefully, and then see how many parts are there in the questions, and each part has to be adequately answered. So that is one thing. Secondly, you have to write proper within the word limit which is mentioned. So you organize your thoughts and your points, everything, so that you manage within the word limit. Thirdly, to the point, precise answer, balanced answer. Then should we use diagrammatic presentation, or should we write in the points? So it is always better that you write your body of your answer. Your body of your answer should be like introduction, body, and conclusion. Introduction you can write in paragraph formats, conclusion also in the paragraph formats, and body can be divided into into the various subheadings depending upon the number of the questions has subcategories. Within the question, what are the subcategories? So depending on that, you just make the headings and subheadings and try to answer in a, as I told you, in a comprehensive manner. Don't leave any part of your question unanswered. So read the question, see how many parts the questions have, and accordingly you answer. And in the body, that is how you can divide depending upon how many parts the questions have. Preferably you can write body in points. Preferably write body in points if it is possible. Give a proper heading and then write in points 1, 2, 3 you can write. And then again, if there are other parts of the question, same way give the heading, write in points 1, 2, 3, right? Now you will see where to include diagrams and all. So don't use diagram in your introduction. I have seen many people, they will start with the diagram. Don't use that. Start with the introductions with proper paragraph. In the body you can use the diagram, that too relevant diagram. And one important thing again I would like to emphasize, that many people, they feel that we should use diagram for every answer. Now you see the time limit for answering all the questions, it's not, you don't have so much of liberty there. You have the time issue is extremely very important there. So if wherever the diagram is required, not all the 20 questions where you need to draw the diagram, only where diagram is required, only where flow chart is required, do it. Even out of 20 questions, if you can manage to include diagram, or for that matter flow charts or table in some 5 to 6 questions, that would be more than enough. No need to do it in every questions, because most important is managing time. Writing, if you know all the 20 questions, and if you are well prepared, you would be knowing almost all the 20 questions, you would be knowing. So properly divide the time, how much time you have to allot. Initially the time taken will be little more, because that is how you start up and you warm up. Once you are warm up, obviously your speed will go, but don't get so much of stuck in one question only. Please remember that time is ticking. So diagram or flow chart should be used in the body part. Never start with the diagram or flowchart in the introduction. The best way is to introduction, you write in the paragraph format, write the body in the points, or wherever is required. Maybe here, you can use some space and give some flowchart or diagram. Can use in the body part, little space you can leave it, and do it very neatly. If you are drawing any diagram or flowchart, it should be neat. It should not be only for the sake of including diagram or flowchart. Remember that. Otherwise, if you are not able to do it, better write in clear-cut points, right? And again, one mistake we have seen, they do it in the flowchart. They'll write the points in the flowchart. Again, they will write in the body part. Again, they will write each point and they will describe. So this exercise is going to take much of your time. If you have mentioned the points in the flowchart, no need to mention it again. Flowchart should be used only to concise your answer, right? Again, if you are writing it and explaining it, doing double work, it will be the wastage of time. I hope you are getting clarity what I am talking about. I hope it's making sense to all of you. Essay writing. Now, time and again, it has been emphasized that essay can make or break your chance. Essay marks has been very dynamic. People are getting very good marks, more than 50% or 60% plus, and sometimes even they are getting 20% or 10% in the essay. So please develop a good answer writing skill on your essay, and that is again required practice, because many a time we practice for GS, we practice for optional, but then we don't practice for essay. It's extremely important. Try to write essay. Try to write essay. Maybe once in a week, once in a week, try to write one essay. So you will have around 2 months of time. So at least 8 essay you would have written, at least 8 essay, so that you get an idea. And please get it evaluated, extremely important. Just writing and keeping to yourself, it won't help. Get it evaluated and then work on the feedback. And in essay, another one more things I would like to emphasize here. In some year they had asked essay, like there is a topic, right? You have 4 topics in A and then 4 topics in B section, and you have to choose one here and one here, right? You have to write 2 essay in 3 hours time. So many a time we have seen, or in some year we have seen that the topic would be mostly philosophical, or the student might not have choice. Generally the question is divided into some questions maybe from political theme, some maybe from societal, some maybe from national, international, or current affairs. So the knowledge of what we have studied for general studies is enough to prepare for essay. But sometimes the philosophical topic, many a time people are not able to understand. So we need to prepare well for the philosophical time. And some year we have also seen that students did not get enough choice, because most of the questions were from the philosophical, almost all the 8 questions were philosophical in nature. So in such circumstances, if you don't practice any philosophical essay, it might be difficult. So please prepare 1 or 2 topic, or develop an idea by looking at the previous year questions paper. Develop an idea how a philosophical essay would be we can deal with. And also somebody choosing philosophical topic, please read the topic and question very carefully, because how you understand the questions, that is how you frame your answers, right? So understanding the topic is extremely important, because if you have not understood the topic well, your essay might go totally in a different manner, and hence you won't be awarded proper marks for that, right? So please choose the topic carefully, read it carefully, and then start framing the structure, and actually then write your essay. And of course, keep in mind the time limit. Ethics paper. Now, ethics paper is again extremely important. It is very fluid in nature also. So, but the time, effort and energy you put for essay is comparatively generally low, we can say, or less in comparison to other GS paper, whereas the scoring potential is very high in ethics as well as in essay. So we have seen, like, the effort you put or the time energy for essay preparation or for ethics is comparatively less to other GS paper, and the scoring potential could be very high. So for that, again, prepare your essay properly. And again, PYQ is I can say one of the most important source, particularly for essay, and for that matter all the GS paper and essay we have to go with the PYQ. But ethics, I feel that the PYQ is extremely important. When you look at the PYQ paper, you will come to know that how and what type of question they had been asking. And we know various terminology. Please be clear about the various terminology used in the ethics paper, like ethics, value, integrity. Be ready with the definitions and all. Gather some real life example, gather some real life examples from governance, collect some important examples wherever you read the newspaper or so, collect important example that this point can be used in your essay. Then comes to the case studies. In the case studies, how to resolve the ethical dilemma, what options you have, how you'll approach that. So for that, please go through the PYQ of these many years, try to solve it, get it evaluated, and don't overlook any aspect. If it is ethics paper, many a time people will not solve the case study, but don't do that. Solve the case studies as well, they are very, very important, and that reflects your basically how you approach a thing, how you approach a problem, whether you can solve a problem within, remaining within the law, how you solve the problem. That is what the test of your case studies, that you have to solve the problems but remaining within the law, within the boundary of law, how you resolve the ethical dilemma. So practice enough, be ready with the terminology, definitions of the various terms and all, that will be very handy to start your answer. Solve the case studies, look at from the moral thinkers, what type of question has come already, and prepare accordingly. Optional subject. Now the optional subject is extremely important. Even optional subject, we have seen the marks in the optional subject can make or break your chance. Some people, they have scored really well, 300 plus, and then some, they are in the double digit marks. So definitely the amount of preparation required in your optional, please give adequate preparation to your optionals. PYQ again, PYQ is extremely important. Past 10 years paper, solve it properly, because most of the questions they ask, they would have already asked. They will simply twist the words here and there. So somebody who have really solved well their PYQ of past 10 years, I don't think so they would find it difficult in the real examination. And again, as I keep on emphasizing, time management. We may know all the questions, but if we don't manage time well, things will become unrewarding for us, right? So manage time well. For optional, PYQ, time management, as I keep on saying, for all your, dealing with all your mains paper, time management extremely important. Solve the PYQ, analyze the pattern, and prepare accordingly. PYQ is the single most important source for developing good knowledge, good clarity, and prepare well for your UPSC mains. Practice mock test. Now this again cannot be overemphasized. Before we go for the real test, we need to practice here. We need to practice beforehand. Therefore that you can join any good mock test series. Why? So that you can actually you are writing, and take it very seriously. When you write the test, take it as if you are taking your UPSC exam, main exam. Don't take it lightly. So if as much seriously you take your mock test, that is how you will be rewarded in your real main examination. So please take the mock test very, very importantly, not in terms of the what type of questions are being they asked. Of course, if you are taking a good mock test series, they will be mostly inspired the way the UPSC has been asking the questions. So UPSC standards questions will be asked, inspired from the PYQ, previous year questions paper. So one is about the questions, anyway you are seeing the questions. Secondly, how you are dealing with this question, how you are dealing with the question, actually how you are writing, or are you fulfilling the demand of the question or not. And then very importantly, whether you are able to manage time or not. What is your speed? Speed management, that is also extremely important to manage the time well. Your handwriting, very important. Structuring, how well you are structuring your answers, right? So all this matters a lot, and all this thing can be assessed well when you take your mock test, right? So please take your all the mock test very seriously, as if you are writing your real mains examination. Then this point need not be revised, need not be emphasized, because I guess everyone knows the importance of revision. Those would be clearing the prelims, they would be definitely knowing what importance is of the revision. So revise the topic very well. Don't leave any topic untouched. Don't leave. Yes, by looking at the PYQ, definitely you can prepare a strategy. What is the length and depth of the questions? But as per the syllabus, be ready with 200 words, that whatever the questions come from any part of the syllabus, I am ready with 200 words, I can write on that. And by looking at the previous year questions paper, you will come to know exactly what question has come from that part of the syllabus, right? So now I have already discussed about the various points and various important features of the how to approach the mains paper. Here I would like to talk about, I would show you some of the questions also to emphasize the PYQ. I feel that PYQ, previous year's questions paper, analysis of the previous year questions paper is extremely important. That is what we emphasize for the prelims and also for the mains. PYQ is extremely important, but just looking at the question of PYQ is not enough. Please try to develop a proper approach and also try to write answer on that. So some of the question I can say that has been already repeated or inspired. Some of the question you see, I have taken few question here. So this about the first question you see, political and administrative reorganizations. This question earlier also they had asked, again they had asked in 2023. So that is how, what I mean to show, what I want to say by showing this question is that how important is PYQ. Such questions has already been asked. Earlier also they had asked, and now also they had asked about the reorganization of the state. Then about Mahatma Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore, earlier also it been asked, and again in 2023 they had asked. Now this question, the third question. Why I have taken this question is that to show you that some of the question can be bouncer, where you might find it that how to deal with this question. But definitely, if you have developed a good understanding of the southwest monsoon and how the southwest monsoon reaches the Kerala coast, that is this is how the southwest monsoon reaches, and then how the southwest monsoon reaches the UP or Bihar region or the eastern part of India through Bay of Bengal. If you have little idea, you can connect. But then yes, because the question is not just about southwest monsoon, but also on influence of the cultural ethos of the region. See, the question is about how southwest monsoon called Purvaiya, easterly in the Bhojpur region. So this question, I think, particularly people from this region, Bhojpur region or the Bihar region or so, they might be able to, probably, if they have an idea, probably they would be in better place to answer this question. Other student, they might feel little difficult to answer, but then if you have the knowledge and proper concept of southwest monsoon, you can relate and still you can attempt this question, that how the southwest monsoon enter through Bay of Bengal and towards this the Bihar UP region, the Bhojpur region, you can still. So this kind of question can be a bit difficult, to that, but then this type of questions are rare. One such question they had asked in 2023. So it's okay, at least 19 question you know very, very well. One question also, if you know the concept, you can still answer. And by looking at the PYQ, we have seen particularly from the art and culture section, they have been asking from the southern part of India, particularly this, they had asked on Pallavas, art, architecture and literature. They had asked about the Cholas, art and architecture. So I think this reason is getting repeated. So that is what the importance of PYQ. If you know that this is how the questions are being asked, you can actually prepare on that. And one of the questions they had asked regarding demographic winter last year. So that is how we have been talking more about the demographic dividend, but this demographic winter, this term, though we are supposed to know, but then it's not that popular. So some may find it difficult ki what is demographic winter, but then those people who have really prepared well, they might be knowing that demographic winter is about the concern of the elderly people, and whether there is a concern in India regarding the demographic winter. So such kind of topic, that is what, when you prepare well from the current affairs and you are well versed with the current affairs, these kind of topic, what I talked about demographic winter, you can still will be in a position to handle even these type of questions. And also to enrich your answers, please collect datas, informations from various committees like second ARC, Niti Aayog. Collect important data from Economy Survey of India, collect important data that would be very useful to support your answer. Further, also prepare well from the various government schemes, like they have already asked on Gati Shakti Yojana last year, and they had also asked on Udan scheme. So be well prepared on the various government schemes. One of the questions they had also been asking in GS paper 3 from IPR, intellectual property rights. So that is how you prepare well. So to conclude, I can say that go through the syllabus properly, each part of the syllabus, cover it so that you are in a position to write 200 words on any topic. Secondly, please go through the previous year questions paper, at least 5 to 10 years. Don't go beyond, no need to go beyond 2013. From 2013 onwards, you can see, because with this pattern we have started in 2013, so no need to go beyond that. Till 2013, you can see the questions of the previous year paper and then formulate your answers or formulate your approach accordingly. Thirdly, develop a proper answer writing skill, and that would require actual writing the answer. Join some good test series where you get your answers evaluated by an expert, and then please work on the feedback. It is not just important writing the test, but it is equally important analyzing your performance, that what mistake you made, how can you improve. So work on the feedback. Writing the test and then committing same mistake again and again it's not going to solve the purpose, right? And then collect important informations, data, example to support and enrich your answer. I hope this session would be useful. You will find this session useful for your mains preparation. Thank you. All the very best.